Hi, I'm Ken Allen from Brooklyn Printworks, and today we're going to look at the Hahnemühle Natural Line Hemp paper. So this is a renewable paper. We have a lot of experience using their renewable bamboo paper. That's a super popular paper. This hemp paper, though, is 60% hemp fiber and 40% cotton. Compared to the Hahnemühle bamboo, which is very, very popular. The hemp is a little bit wider, I know, so we wanted to bring that in and take a look at it. A little closer, make a profile. Get a look at the fine details of the paper. Right away, you can already see it's quite a bit brighter white. This is a nice white point. Well, they don't use optical brightener, so it's still an archival paper, and that hemp and cotton fibers just feels really nice. Super thick paper, really nice, and not sure if you can see the texture, got that exact.
Okay, now we're looking at three papers: the Hahnemühle hemp paper, the Hahnemühle bamboo paper, and then as a reference, kind of the Hahnemühle Photorag Ultra Smooth 305 paper. And we're going to look at, I have a raking light on here so that we can really see the textures. So the hemp paper has a nice, it looks like, even though it's machine made, it looks so random, like a handmade paper. They've done a really great job, really tight, beautiful little texture. Compare that to the bamboo. Also a lovely texture, much broader. Also done a great job of randomizing it and making it look handmade. And then, for total comparison, the Ultra Smooth Photorag. That's, about as smooth as you can get. Very little texture showing on the Ultra Smooth. So we have a good comparison of the smooth matte paper. The hemp has that kind of a nice, fine, tight texture, not too overwhelming. Actually, would work good. Works good on this grainy image. The grain and the texture works fairly well together. And then the bamboo, a bit broader, broader texture there. Now I'm going to look at we're going to adjust the lights and look at the white point, how bright these papers are. Okay, now we should be able to see the difference between the white points in the paper. Again, using the Hahnemühle Ultra Smooth Photorag 305 on the bottom here. That's about as bright as you can get for a smooth white matte without using optical brighteners and keeping the paper archival. It's fairly bright. And the hemp paper is right there. Maybe has the slightest tinge of yellow in the hemp, but it's just barely noticeable. It's a very bright paper for kind of a fine art paper with a little bit of texture to it. And then the Hahnemühle bamboo paper is one of our warmer papers. You can see it's quite a bit denser and yellower. And we love that paper when we're making a print that needs a little bit of warmth to it and base color to it. And the Hahnemühle bamboo is the perfect option for that instance. So there we go. There's the hemp. It's a nice position in the lineup. Really like to have that option.
And then the last step before printing on our Hahnemühle Natural Line Hemp paper is to make a custom color profile for our printers. We start by printing two targets, have 2016 color swatches on them. And then we do a very critical step, which is doing an optimization chart, which has 1008 color targets, color chips on them. And even though we have an automated chart reader, this whole process can still take several hours per machine, but it is critical to do all this before we start printing. And so now we're going to look at a final print. Let's check out the highlights. So in the file, the highlights are quite blown out. It's such a bright sky, but the texture of the paper then adds a little bit to that. So you could brings back some texture, which is nice.
But the hardest part usually is, the shadow detail going down into the darker areas. That's where a lot of fine art papers struggle. And this is looking pretty nice, especially down here. These are really dark tones, subtle details in there. And this is looking quite velvety. These areas can tend to block up or get a bit muddy. This paper is doing really well. So we got a nice, bright, white, renewable paper, beautiful shadow detail. This is going to be a good paper in our lineup.